Hello and welcome to another macro newsreel. 2 months on from the previous one, quite a lot's changed, and it mainly relates to the ways in which the macros are available to you. The old system is still going strong, which was the getting it from the downloading from my website. So you've got the download there, and what you download is the macros and the book and the reference files. That's fine. The only problem is that when you download it, that's the version you've got, and if I'm busy improving things, adding more to the book, adding more macros, editing things, changing them, you don't have the latest version, so it's just when you last downloaded it. Now, so that system is available, and it will continue to be available. However, we're working on a new system. There are a group of us, a group of editors, who are working on a future system on a new website, wordmacrotools.com. On that we will have the macros, obviously, all the instructions for the macros, and we're hoping to put on there learning resources so that you can have sort of self-help resources for you, and hoping to have also training materials, so that people who want to do training for others can use some of the material off our new website. However, that is not yet. It is rather a large job to set up that new website, so please be patient, we'll get there eventually. More immediately, we have got a temporary system that I've set up. The idea of that is that all the materials should now be available as individual web pages. The point of that is that the book and the macros and the reference files are always going to be the latest version, because you're pulling them off the web pages, and when I update the book, I update the web pages. So let me show you that. So we go back to the this page here, where you download the whole book and so on, and below that, under latest development, these are the sections of the book divided out into individual web pages, so you can click on any one of those, such as the favorite macros, favorite tools for editors and so on. So those are the bits of the book that you can get. If we go down to the instructions, then let me just show you down here. So we've got the book, it's in sections. And if you look at the actual instructions of any of these, so for example, editing information there, so that's the section of the book, and if you look down, you will find where it gives you the name of the macro, it's actually a link. So if you click on that link, say for WatchR, then it immediately loads the page with WatchR, so you can use select all and copy, and you've now got the latest version of the macro there. You can go into Visual Basic and you can paste that in, so it's certainly very fast picking up the latest version of the macros. Okay, so we can paste into VBA. Now the macro menu part that's one section of the book, but that's particularly important now, because if we have a look at that, it's now much more effective. What you've got is the wind it up a bit. Whoops, too far. So for each of the macros in that list, and it's all divided into sections under the heading of the different sorts of things that you might want to do. So for each one, you've got the name of the macro and then the simple one-line description of it. So if I click on Megalize, then it loads it into the page there. I can get that. So that says launches a selected series of analysis macros. So that's what we've got here. This is what's in the book already. However, if you now click on the description there, the page that comes up is the book section of the book that contains the instructions for the various bits, including Megalize. So if you want to find it, then you can use Control F and look for Megalize. Now that's found it in the middle of the text there, so if we go back and look for subspace Megalize, then straight away we've got to the name of the macro and the link to go and get it. Okay, so that's that. So you can either click, but if it's a long name that you're looking for, I was looking at the comments ones earlier, and so if I try that, so if I look at one of the comment type things, if it's a long, if you want comment initialize, you can look for some part, because if you start looking for comment, COMM, there's a load of those, 213. So if it's comment initialize, I can go, I can find the ENT and then INIT. So there's the comment initial. If that's the one I wanted, I just choose a bit of the name which I know is going to be unique, so comment initial. So that's a quicker way of finding the bit you want. Okay, quite often we get people asking, is there a macro that does such and such? Obviously you can ask me, but if you want to query that yourself from the materials available rather than having to come to me, then obviously you can, as before, you can search through the macro menu, and that's what I've just shown you. However, there is on that, all you're looking for is individual words. So back on the old system, there's a way that I've used for a long time, is to use the macro called find in context. The importance of that is you can look for two different words at the same time. So for example, if we're wanting to find something out about highlighting quoted text, then we've got for finding context in your switch list, you have a couple of words, so it's going to find two particular words. So we want to search in the book, and first thing to do is to use Smart Finder to get to the beginning of the macro menu. So if I run Smart Finder and look for MM, that will take me to the beginning of the macro menu, which is a good place to start when you're looking for things. So we then look for example, what was I looking for? I was looking for highlighting, so HIGHL will do, and I look for, oops, come on, quote, so highlighting quoted text, and then if I run find in context, then it'll find the first occurrence of highlighting quote, the word highlight and the word quotes, so it pulls that up there. So by using that system you can find information about, say, like counting italic, so you could look for count italic as two words, and it will come to something that's suitable. Okay, so finally we're going to look at two more macros, so let's move that out of the way. Right, so we've got macro fetch and macro fetch update that I want to show you. So suppose, for example, that we want to get the Smart Finder macro, so you can click in the word Smart Finder and you can run macro fetch, which I'll do from a keystroke. It selects that, finds it, and there's your macro ready to use. Okay, So it's also set up. It's opened the Visual Basic so that you're ready to paste it in if that's what you're wanting to do. But you can also suppose, for example, someone is telling you, in an email or something. Suppose this is an email, and they mention the comment add macro. Then if I copy that out of my email, and then I click in a Word file, being careful not to click in the name of a macro because it'll find that instead. So click in any bit of text there, and if I run macro fetch again, it looks in the clipboard and it finds the word comment add, and it recognizes that as a macro, so it loads that up for you. Okay, nearly there. So that's fine for getting new macros, but if you're wanting to update a macro that you've already got and you've already got a keystroke attached to it, so suppose for example we want to look for case next word, there we go. So edit that. So we've got case next word there. We see it's version 20th of May 2019, and you think, oh well, I wonder if that's the latest. Let's see if there's a later one. So if we copy that and just click that down, now unlike macro fetch, you can't do it from the clipboard, so you actually have to, if I paste that into a Word document, click on that and now run macro fetch update. So I run that from a keystroke. So it's copied it, it's gone to the, there you are, yes, it's the 16th of January 21, so that is a later version. So if I select that and copy it and put that out of the way, and we get up the original version there. So if I double click on that and delete it and paste in the new version, make sure I've got that. So there we are, I've got the January version in there, that's fine. Put that away. However, we'll have lost the keystroke. So if I try and do my normal keystroke, it splits the screen in half because I use Control-Alt-S for case next word. So that's lost the keystroke. However, if I run the update macro again, I run it the second time, and it doesn't actually work, it pulls that up. So if I try that again and run that second time, right, so if I run the macro update again, it asks me, do I want to set the keystroke for case next word to Alt-Control-S? I say yes, so it's now restored the keystroke, so I can use that Control-Alt-S for doing what it's supposed to. Okay, that's it. Well, thanks for watching. If you've got any questions, let me know, and I'll happy to help if I can. Thanks for watching.